4,500 voters said that Justin Ladner's stance on not allowing defensive redos was the worst part about Tyler Peterson's foot touching the ground and a switchback heel against Chris Joslin in their round 3 battle of season 13. A little over a quarter of the votes believe that Tyler acting like he didn't touch his foot on the ground was the worst part, and the remaining 7% think Joslin cared too much to even bother with throwing a flag. The most upvoted YouTube comments from Chris and Tyler's battle were directly related to this specific situation involving blatant defensive toe touch from Peterson when he needed to land the switchback heel set by Joslin. Upon reviewing Peterson's attempt, there's absolutely no questioning there was enough toe touch, stoppage of motion, and subsequent tic-tacking to justify a redo. Counting to 10 would be a harder task than realizing Tyler's toe touched. Even with the stipulation that defense has a bigger margin for error, there's no reality in which we currently exist where this attempt would be even remotely considered a make by an unbiased party. However, the referee, and at one point a Kariuma shoe endorser, Justin Ladner, immediately approved the redoable effort with the rationale that, because it's a defensive attempt, the aforementioned toe touch is permissible.
Defense, it's good.
Without hesitation, Chris Joslin immediately throws the penalty flag, and in the process of throwing said flag, Ladner aggressively repeats, "It's defense."
It's defense.
Adding that Joslin wasted his challenge flag.
You wasted the challenge flag on that.
I didn't.
Joslin hilariously insists that he indeed did not waste his challenge flag,
I didn't.
and proceeds to cozy up to the ref, using some sort of a hybrid of a bribery attempt mixed with intimidation tactic, while Justin brings up personal dirty laundry about an argument they had last night regarding this subject.
On defense, we had this argument last night.
Almost as soon as Chris settles in to engage in what might have been the most exciting string of dialogue to ever come out of the Berrics, he just as quickly disengages and submits to Justin's authority, bleached hair, and extraneous jewelry.
We played.
Fine.
Then Ladner extends a stiff thumbs up, concluding that it's good defense.
Good defense.
Conveniently enough, the round right before Joslin and Tyler's saw a similar situation on the same trick, with Levy missing the redo on a defensive switchback heel, giving him a letter and eventually resulting in him losing to Nick Holt. Given Tyler's record of success with flat ground in general, it's understandable to assume that he would have likely landed a switchback heel on his redo, unlike Levy who missed his, but it's also true that Peterson has never attempted one on defense in this contest, and has only landed one switchback heel offensively so far. Entertaining the hypothetical what if, should Peterson have missed the redo on a switchback heel, he gets a letter, potentially boosting Joslin's confidence further, flowing with the rhythm of a successful offense, and maybe even fundamentally bludgeoning Tyler down with the basics like Nick mostly did to Levy. Instead, the reality is that Ladner's disruptive, distracting insistence on making one of the worst calls on ref duties captured on camera, at the very least threw off Joslin's mental focus, because this type of call by Justin confirms the game was going to be an uphill battle for Chris. Tyler's aloofness to the whole situation didn't help either, but because he kept his mouth shut, he was able to avoid a wave of dislikes that plagued Sean Davis last season, who was actually in attendance at this cursed game. There are also moments in the video where the Berrics editors suspiciously cut out parts where there doesn't need to be cuts. Like right after Joslin turns over control to Tyler, there's a jump cut after Chris misses to right after Tyler throws his board down. It's possible that if the editors didn't cut so much of the battle down randomly and presented the natural flow of events like during the penalty flag throw, there might be less to get mad about since we would be given additional context as to why defense had a more lenient than average treatment. But that would mean the Berrics would have to be transparent, so we're left with random cuts in the video instead. Either way, the inconsistency with reffing has been a problem with this contest for a long time, and the unavoidable Kariuma logos plastered on Tyler, mixed with this ridiculous defense call, made the game seem like a glorified advertisement that guarantees Peterson will be in the finals. Seva already lost to Jamie in round 1, but Tyler beating Joslin is only the second instance this season of a former champion being eliminated, and the lack of fucks given to even at least manufacture some sort of excitement into a battle with the guy who almost tray-bombed El Toro is a stark contrast to a once exciting, reputable contest. The assignment of blame for how this game played out shouldn't fall entirely on Ladner, though, because he understandably probably didn't get paid and therefore doesn't give a rat's ass about who wins.
All or nothing. Here we go. I know. This is great. It's for my lunch.
And the blame should instead be focused on the Berrics for allowing such transparently biased advertising dollars to dictate these battles' outcomes. The optics on this game translate to an obvious commercial for Kariuma, personified by Tyler Peterson, who clearly has flat ground chops, but is also given unfettered access to the LA facility where finals night will take place, while Jamie's left to skate in dreary Ireland before he has to hop on a plane and be jet-lagged for finals night, assuming he already beat Luan, but at the time of this edit, the Berrics hasn't quite dropped that video yet. These battles are free to watch on YouTube, so it'd be delusional to get too upset about these games in general if it weren't for the fact that the Berrics tournament was respected and well received by its audience only a few seasons ago. It's also true that the Berrics could try a little harder to hide the fact that the tournament's main sponsor is clearly dictating the results. While these Season 13 battles haven't had as much time as earlier seasons to accumulate views, Season 12 has 3 games with over 1 million views, and Season 11 has 6. But there's only one battle in the current season with more than 500k views, which was the opening battle between Suchu and Cole. Whether it's a dip in interest for skateboarding viewership on YouTube, or an overall dip on the entire platform now that the world is nearly a couple years removed from being isolated indoors, the Kariuma sponsorship and the brand's favoritism towards its contestants in the tournament isn't going unnoticed. Once Jocelyn got lip from Ladner, the effort level Chris displayed visibly dropped. Jocelyn landed a defensive double flip and fakie double flip as recently as last season, ironically in a battle where he shouldn't have even.
But what the hell,
But when he has a legitimate shot at moving ahead in the tournament, fair and square, he flings away both double flips and hi-yahs a forward flip when he could have just done a varial flip on defense. One perspective on what made this tournament more enjoyable in the past is that most, if not all, of the pros who competed already paid their dues in the industry by dropping a video. And Battle at the Berrics was an entertaining, low-stakes promotional pit stop. And if mega huckers like Jocelyn turned out to be incredibly consistent at flat ground, that surprise factor further helped drive interest in the tournament. Now, unless Tyler Peterson drops a part before finals night to supplement his potential title, his win would draw a stark contrast to the previously lighthearted nature of this competition and make it hard to deny that this series has become a promotional tool for a shoe brand disguised as a flat ground competition, where the sponsored riders are known only for one type of skating, putting the flat in flatlining this contest's excitement.